It was the sound of teeth grinding, the sound of forges blazing, the sound of war councils gathering in the deep dark. The Zarthun mistook that silence for surrender. The silence breaks. When Earth finally answered, it was not with words. The first sign was the sudden blackout of 3 Zarthun frontier stations. Their comms simply ended. Then came the stillness of entire fleets, destroyers, battleships, dread carriers, all drifting lifelessly, their crews vanished. A single message burned across every channel, translated into every known language. You celebrated too early. We have endured your crime. Now you will endure our memory. And then the sky changed. From the Uit cradle, from deep caverns hidden beneath Europa's ice, from the black vaults of Mars' forgotten shipyards, the fleets emerged. Ships long kept in shadow, hulls blackened with stealth composites, weapons humming with power never revealed before. Earth's dreadnoughts were not just warships, they were judgments wrapped in steel. They advanced without ceremony. No negotiations, no pleas, no ultimatums. The galaxy held its breath. The march of vengeance. When the retaliation began, it did not stop. The first target was the Zarthun celebratory fleet, still orbiting over the ashes of Halcyon Reach. Human warships dropped into real space like thunderheads tearing the sky. Rail cannons unleashed storms that split carriers in two. Orbital bombardments fell not as precise strikes, but as apocalyptic waves, shaking the very crust of the planet. The survivors tried to flee. None escaped. For every human life taken, 10 Zarthun cities burned. For every envoy humiliated, 100 alien generals were erased from existence. Entire fleets of humanity advanced, each wave more merciless than the last. The galaxy saw suns blotted out by the silhouettes of Earth's vengeance, formations so vast they resembled new constellations. Soldiers landed on worlds in storms of fire, their boots cracking the soil of cities that had mocked humanity hours before. They moved without hesitation, precision, yes, but devoid of mercy. The Zarthun begged for negotiation. Their envoys sent messages drenched in false humility, promising reparations, swearing it was all a misunderstanding. Earth did not answer. Earth remembered. And memory, once awakened, was death. Retribution without end. The annihilation was not quick. It was methodical. Human commanders ordered their fleets not to rush the slaughter. Instead, they erased the Zarthun Empire one layer at a time, ensuring each victory burned into the galaxy's collective mind. The retaliation was not a strike, it was a doctrine. Orbital mirrors turned entire planets into deserts, reflecting sunlight with merciless focus until oceans boiled away. Swarms of drones, black as obsidian, descended upon populations, stripping away every trace of resistance. Zarthun monuments, once symbols of their inevitable dominion, were toppled by human hands and replaced with towering obelisks that bore a single inscription: "Never provoke Earth." For the first time in millennia, the galaxy saw an empire die in real time, not through slow decline, not through political rot, but through vengeance so absolute that centuries later, the ruins would still smolder. The once proud Zarthun became whispers, their names etched only into human records as a warning. Their star maps were erased, their histories shredded. Their species, scattered refugees, carried the shame of arrogance into exile. The lesson carved into the stars. When at last the vengeance slowed, not ended, but slowed, the galaxy found itself silent once more. Humanity had not spoken in all those years. Their fleets had not justified. Their admirals had not boasted. They had simply done what was promised. The survivors across the galaxy whispered. Their triumph lasted hours. Earth's vengeance lasts centuries. Trade networks rewrote their laws. Diplomatic councils shuddered when discussing human alliances. Even the most warlike species grew cautious. Because humanity had revealed itself. They were not simply builders, explorers, or dreamers. They were patient. They endured insult, tragedy, and pain in silence. But once awakened, they did not stop until their enemy was ash. And the galaxy learned a truth that would never be forgotten. Earth's patience was vast, but its vengeance was infinite. The Scythari armada descended on Vega Prime like hunters tearing into a wounded beast. Their warships, sleek, needle-shaped predators of alloy and plasma, moved with cruel efficiency. Vega Prime, a human colony world of 12 million, had been flourishing, filled with children, artists, farmers, and scientists. No fleets, no heavy fortresses, just homes, schools, markets, and families under the warmth of their sun. The Scythari did not come for conquest. They came for spectacle. Orbital bombardment began with no warning, plasma lances carving cities into molten craters. Whole mountain ranges were leveled, forests turned to black glass. Human civilians ran, screamed, hid, yet every shelter became a tomb when the fire fell. The Scythari commanders broadcast the slaughter live across their empire, their laughter echoing in their guttural language. To them this was art, this was triumph. Earth is too soft to respond, sneered one Scythari warlord as he watched firestorms consume Vega's capital. They hide behind treaties and diplomacy. They will mourn, they will beg, they will do nothing. Within 12 hours, Vega Prime was ash. 12 million human lives erased for amusement. 12 hours of alien triumph. The celebration of fools. In the great spire cities of the Scythari homeworld, revelries erupted. They called the massacre the culling of the weak. Arena crowds cheered as holograms replayed the burning of Vega. War banners flew from towers. Poets composed songs about human fragility. Scholars declared Earth would grieve but never act, too bound by its ideals of peace and restraint. Humans are creatures of memory, not vengeance, mocked one Scythari chronicler. They build statues to loss but never sharpen blades for revenge. And so, across their empire, they drank, sang, and boasted. To the Scythari, this was the moment they proved their dominance in the galactic stage. Humanity, they believed, was broken. But in the silence of Earth's high councils, in the dark chambers of the United Terran Defense, words were few and faces cold. No rants, no promises. Just one sentence carried in encrypted signals to every fleet commander and every Black Vault arsenal. Remember Vega Prime. The silence before the storm. For weeks the galaxy heard nothing. Human diplomats appeared at no councils. Their traders vanished from markets. Their colonies fell quiet, as if cloaked in mourning. Alien observers thought Earth was paralyzed by grief. They believed silence meant weakness. But silence has two faces. Deep within the Uit yards, shipyards older than most empires lit with fire. Forgotten arsenals, stored in vaults of ice and steel, opened after centuries of stillness. Titans of war were awakened, dreadnoughts 3 kilometers long, bristling with rail cannons and Nova lances. Crews boarded in silence, veterans and new recruits alike swearing oaths with no celebration, no cheers, only cold purpose. Signals spread across human space like a heartbeat. Colonial defense fleets, covert black ops battalions, orbital strike wings, all converged into something vast, something unseen for generations. The galaxy soon realized Earth was not grieving, Earth was preparing. The unveiling of retribution. The Sithari Empire's first hint came when their frontier fleet vanished. A patrol group of 50 warships simply stopped responding. Later reports, garbled and cut off, spoke of human dreadnoughts appearing out of nowhere, their guns silent until the first command was given. Vega sends her greetings. Then silence turned to thunder. The human offensive did not spread like a wave. It struck like lightning, everywhere at once. Fleets jumped into Sithari systems, bypassing defenses with precision strikes. Orbital foundries burned. Supply convoys vanished. Colonies that had laughed at Vega's destruction now screamed under orbital fire. Human warships blotted out suns, their formations so vast that alien astronomers recorded artificial eclipses. Drones poured into Sithari atmospheres, swarming like metallic locusts. Ground forces landed not with banners but with storm-like fury, cities crumbling in hours. And with every transmission, the same phrase echoed across intercepted comms, chilling the blood of all who heard. For Vega Prime, the centuries of vengeance. The Sithari had celebrated for 12 hours. Humanity's vengeance would last 12 generations. Entire star systems that once bore Sithari names were erased from maps. Their great academies, their proud fleets, their ancestral capitals, leveled, salted with radiation so no life would return for centuries. No distinction was made between military and civilian infrastructure. The Terran response was cold, methodical, merciless. Some Sithari begged for peace. Others tried to flee, scattering into neutral systems, hiding in forgotten colonies. But humanity was relentless. They hunted across centuries, through wormholes, across dark nebulae. Human intelligence operatives infiltrated every port, every shadow market, every council, whispering of Vega before unleashing the assassins or the orbital strikes. And wherever they fled, the survivors carried the legend, Earth does not forget, Earth does not forgive.